on to the next slide. Now, what kind of civilization would exist out there? Now, there was a Russian scientist, Kardashev, who kind of made a very famous scale called the Kardashev scale. Now, what it tells us that three types of civilization. The type 1 civilization is which is like humanity. They're able to utilize and store energy which is available from the star. So, like we use solar energy. So, those would be the basic kinds of civilization. These are called type 1. Now, as a civilization kind of develops and invents newer and advanced forms of technology, we kind of go into the type 2 civilization. Type 2 is when we are able to directly harness the energy of the star. So there is a concept of called the Dyson sphere. Now, what the Dyson sphere is, so it is kind of envelops the star and it directly sucks the energy of the star from it. So a better example of that would be a type 2 civilization would be the civilizations you see in Star Wars. So the Galactic Council, like in the first two movies, like the Galactic Council is a type 2 civilization, for example. So type 2 civilization being civilization which are able to harness directly the energy of the star. Now, type 3 civilizations. Now, type 3 civilization exists, they are able to harness the energy of the entire host galaxy. Beings at these levels are so technologically advanced that we are not even able to, imagine what the level of technology these guys would have. So imagine an entire galaxy being accessible to a species. This is the amount of technology and scale we are looking at. Now, we are not even completely type 1. We are on our road to become type 1. So we have millions of years ahead of us to kind of reach at any level of type 2 or type 3. Moving on. So the biggest question is, if the universe is so vast and there are possibilities of so many advanced civilizations existing. Now, by Drake's equation, people have kind of estimated that there would be around 100,000 advanced civilizations in Milky Way alone. Around 100,000 advanced civilizations. But the question remains, then why hasn't anyone found us yet? Like, where are we? Like, there would be around, say, million civilizations existing in our galaxy alone, which are at or beyond Earth's present level of technological development. So even if they're, say, randomly distributed throughout the Milky Way galaxy, there, a distance between us and the nearest civilization should be around 300 light years. Electromagnetic radiation is the fastest way and the cheapest way to kind of establishing contact. Now, we have achieved the capability of interstellar radio communication only in the past few decades, like from 1970s and all that. For any we started sending signals into outer space in 1970s, like dedicated signals into outer space. So it would take around 600 years for us to get an answer. This is the biggest problem. So for someone to answer our call, it will require minimum 600 years. That again is assuming that people are looking out for our call. People should know that Earth is calling them and they should be able to understand our message. So talking about a very famous signal and the problems of interstellar communication. So around 500 million years ago, a mysterious radio signal was launched from a very far away galaxy. The name of the galaxy is what is written here. And it reached Earth in 2015 or 17. The problem is when this signal bounced back from Earth, it was the start of the Cambrian period. It would be, and the first trilobites were just becoming, starting to swim inside Earth's seas, and it would be around 200 million years before even the first reptile set foot on land. So any signal which will bounce back from Earth at that point in time will only be a blank, like there is no one at home. Now, this signal is called as an anomalous fast radio burst. The reason being, to create this kind of a signal, enormous energy sources were required, like the size of nuclear fusions which are occurring on stars, much larger than such. Like this is a type 2 civilization. So if something had to send this signal, it had to be type 2. And it was precise. So it was like precise as switch watch. It kind of repeated over a period of just over 2 weeks. And after, again, 4 days of intense activity, then turn off for 12 days and then again start. The problem is this signal we got now. There are many theories. Some theories saying that these are binary stars so that so the star which is sending the signal, when its partner kind of comes in front of it, it stops the sending of the signal. This causes the signal to be turned off and then again start. Or neutron stars, which kind of have this kind of a property. Or there might be, can also be a possible extraterrestrial civilization. Now imagine this: we got a signal after 500 million years. When we send a signal, it will literally be after another 500 million years it will reach. In this point of time, even if that the civilization should also exist after 1 billion years of sending a signal, so that it can acknowledge that someone heard it. Now we talked about interstellar communication. What about interstellar travel? We have sent many probes into space. However, and these probes are the fastest things made by mankind. Now, if any of them have to reach even our nearest neighbor, say Proxima Centauri, which is just 4 light years away, they would take around 80,000 years. Now, that even these fastest things take so much time. So that means we are nowhere near even interplanetary travel. To make interstellar spaceflight reasonable, a probe has to go really fast, to the order of at least 1/10 the speed of light. The problem is the way we normally travel, like when we add a huge amount of fuel, we can't do that for interplanetary travel, because when you add fuel, you add mass, and then it becomes like, tend to move this mass, you need more fuel, and then that's it. Like, you can't travel fast at the way we travel now. So we need different technologies to travel. The most promising idea, as someone said, is to keep the energy source of the spacecraft fixed and to transport the energy to the spacecraft. The spacecraft does not carry the fuel with it, but the fuel is transported to it. This is where the idea comes in, where radiation is very good at transporting energy from one place to other, especially over vast distances of space. If we can use radiation to transport energy from Earth to the spacecraft, so that we can keep the mass of the spacecraft same while giving it a massive boost in speed. So this is an example where kind of a massive laser is kept on Earth, and the laser propels the spacecraft. So this small spacecraft will have massive sails to collect the photons of the laser, and you will just point a laser at it. The problem of this kind of travel is 100 gigawatt laser only has a force of a heavy backpack. So you would be able to send small probes, but you cannot send human beings with this kind of travel. So again, if we were to shoot this laser at a spacecraft for about 10 minutes, in order to reach 1/10 the speed of light, which it can do in this kind of travel, the spacecraft can weigh no more than 1 gram. That's it, nothing more. So you can send small probes, but you will never be able to send like human beings, machinery, and kind of colonize it. It is only good for probing and getting back information, but you can't travel with it. So the crux of the matter being that with technology available on Earth at this point in time, we cannot even think about interplanetary travel. Coming back to the very famous paradox of Fermi paradox. So if the universe is so teeming with life, and it has to be teeming with life, we can't be alone. The problem is, where is everyone? Like, why are we the lone intelligent lone planet which kind of seems to have life? Now, so there are many possibilities. So these are all kind of sci-fi possibilities. So you guys can ask any question. The first question is, the first possibility is something what is called down the rabbit hole. Is like says ki we haven't found evidence, is because we are kind of living in an illusion created by ET life, and we are purely just a computer simulation and nothing else. So we are like a scientific experiment in a massive lab which is created by the aliens. That's why we are not able to find anyone else. So second possibility is are our wires crossed? Is because this kind of things I would say ki we do not, so they don't use the same technology as us. So like people are using, so one is using a phone to communicate, the other one is using say a telegram to communicate.
Microwave.
So it's like it's just a normal kind of example. So we don't know what message to listen to, and they don't know what message to listen from us. The third possibility is Earth's a fishbowl. That means the aliens have already found us. However, they are not kind of wanting to, interfere in our growth or development. So we are too primitive for them. So they are kind of, waiting for us to develop into more advanced technology civilization before they will initiate contact with us. Similar to what we do for all those, which are faraway tribes. So, for example, in the Nicobar Islands, there are certain tribes where you cannot contact them. All contact with them is banned by the government. The reason being, they have their indigenous culture, and if you go into contact with them, they might die because of the diseases you carry. So all contact with them is forbidden. This similar thing can also apply to Earth, where there might be an extraterrestrial advanced civilizations who found Earth, but since Earth is still primitive at a technological level, they would say, we will not contact Earth. Let these guys develop their civilization first. Next possibility, like civilizations are not keen to advertise themselves, because many of the civilizations which kind of advertise themselves were destroyed by some other, predatory civilization. Like as nations conquer other nations, even civilizations can conquer other planets. So people are afraid to advertise. The next possibility, which I've been discussing, the space is just too vast. And signals take too long time, so that's why people don't know even if anyone is existing besides themselves. Next possibility, like aliens are already here. They know, they are just not, and they look very much like us, that we are not able to discern the difference between us and an alien. The next possibility, aliens live in very unlikely places. Like they do not have the carbon structure. They have some other exotic structure that we do not even can possibly comprehend. That's why we can't communicate with them. The next possibility is aliens have found us, but since interplanetary travel is so expensive and difficult, they are just, they have sent only tech to spy. So as we send probes to other planets, they also have sent probes to spy on us. Nothing else, only probes. Next possibility, if we are the aliens. So there is a very serious theory which is considered, where like Earth was seeded by life from say an extraterrestrial source. For example, like a planet which had life earlier destroyed in a massive cataclysm. One of that part of the planet turned into a meteorite, and it crashed into Earth 4 billion years ago, somewhere there, when life first evolved on Earth. So meteorite crashed then, and life from that meteorite created all the life which is on Earth. So we are the aliens, like we are the survivors from another planet. And the last and the most disturbing possibility is that life is extremely rare, and that we might be one of the very, very, very few civilizations or species who would have, or planets which would have life.